A brand new dramatic thriller on Netflix. Is Windfall worth the watch? We're going to talk about it. What is up, Netflix fans? Welcome back to my channel. A stacked cast, an interesting idea. Today we're going to talk about Windfall. I need your comments down below. Are you watching this one on Netflix this weekend? So a man breaks into a tech billionaire's empty vacation home, but things go sideways when the arrogant mogul and his wife arrive for a last-minute getaway. Directed by Charlie McDowell, starring Jason Segel, Lily Collins, Jesse Plemons. And we'll start with the rating. It is rated R for language all throughout the movie, and a little bit of violence towards the end, but it's one of the lighter R's I've seen on Netflix. Now, what is this movie about? Like I said, Jesse Plemons is the CEO, Lily Collins plays his wife, and Jason Segel's character is playing this nobody, and I believe on IMDb he is listed as nobody of sorts, because something that happened to him caused him to do this in the first place. And you get all of these philosophical questions throughout the movie, most of them coming between Jason Segel and Lily Collins' character, and whether the conversations be revolving around class or the rage surrounding the elite. There are some very interesting things that they discuss, and this leads both characters to switch up their mentalities just a bit. If we're talking the standout performance, honestly, I believe all three are great. Jesse Plemons, who always steals the show for me, so nothing against the other two actors, may just be the best here. And because you have such a solid cast, occasionally you'll get a conversation or two that come across as really well acted, really well filmed, and it throws you back, or at least it did me, to some of these thrillers we got in the 70s. Just very tight script. I thought it was well edited. I'm not going to say the pacing was the best, because my criticisms come in with this movie when you're talking about how it flows and how interesting, truly, can these conversations be? Now, it's funny that the pacing was probably my biggest issue, because when you look at the other technical aspects, like the score, and I absolutely love the score here, that along with the somewhat interesting visual style brings it together to create a sense of atmosphere. And that's what this movie has going for it the most, even beyond the performances and Collins' character, who you are supposed to have sympathy for. So there are plenty of ideas at play, and those ideas almost elevate this material at times when I wasn't entirely on board. I wasn't entirely locked in with the situation at hand as I was with certain aspects like the score, if that makes sense. So in that way, this movie, with this cast and with the ideas and kind of what they're trying to hit on here, and Jason Segel playing the exact opposite character that you're used to seeing him play, so that was pretty cool. I still wanted more from the movie at the end of the day. I felt it, especially within that third act, started to try to say something. And the characters were building in a way that made me think, okay, if they execute it in this way, or if they execute it at all, then I'm going to love this movie, even with my pacing issues throughout the first two acts. Unfortunately, I found the third act to be maybe the most unfortunate part of the film, not because it was anticlimactic. There are a couple of climactic moments, mostly towards the final few scenes, but I felt the film was building something that the ending just kind of makes me sit back and say, I sort of see what you're going for, but it's not the ending that worked for me. It's not the ending that brought it all home and made me say, yeah, this movie was really worth a watch on Netflix at the end of the day. So overall, disappointed, but there are plenty of things to like if you're looking at just the distinct style that this movie has. Before I give you my score, let me know, are you watching Windfall on Netflix this weekend? Windfall presents a throwback-style thriller that never fully capitalizes on its ideas. The trio elevates the film, but the third act is a bit of a letdown. I'm going a 54% with my score, just slightly below okay. It's a movie that had a lot of interesting ideas, just didn't fully execute at the end of the day for me, but I'd love to know how you feel down below. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it big time. I'll see you soon.